Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits. Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. I'm Luke Avdalovich, and today joined by Jared Waters and Tommy Ball, who are both not on a computer screen, might I add. And fellas, we were just talking before we got on the pod. It's a beautiful day today. We're all in different places of the world, but a beautiful day outside for all of us. And so we're spending it inside recording a podcast. I really like how we're taking advantage of that.
That is funny, actually. I didn't think
Well
about
said.
Look, it's the sacrifices we got to make. It's the sacrifices we chose to make.
that. Yeah, I can go outside if you want, if you want better ambiance.
I could also do that.
This mirror's not doing it for you.
Nah, I mean, you could do what you want. Look, man.
We know how my Wi-Fi gets. We know how my Wi-Fi gets down though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So I appreciate the play being inside. Now, we start every other week with the same thing. We got our scouting reports. We talk about what we like for this week, what we don't like this week, what are we starting, what are we sitting. Jared, I feel like you don't usually kick us off. Would you want to go ahead and give us an hot
I actually would love to kick us off because my scout today is like I don't even think you guys need another scout. If you guys pick somebody else besides who I'm picking, then I think you're crazy. So without further ado, give me Anthony Edwards as the start because that was an insane basketball game last night. Oh my goodness. I rewatched it last night after I saw the highlights. I was like, you know what? I need to rewatch this game. I need to have some good energy, some good basketball energy. And it's just, yeah, that guy, I don't know. Is he the best player in the league? It's hard to argue he's not right now. Jokic done some crazy stuff. Yeah, he's trending upwards. Jokic might have done some crazy stuff himself, but like the last minute that there's a Twitter account that did like put in the last minute and 16 seconds of his game. It was like 3 step back, layup, block for the game.
Hit your head on the rim for the block for the game, which is insane.
He
trampolined.
He literally hit his head on the rim.
Like, what are we doing out here?
Like, and he hit his head so hard that it contorted the whole way his body was. Like, it made him land so awkwardly.
Yeah, it was just a crazy display of like elite everything, elite awareness, elite like defense, elite offense. Like, I mean, yeah, because like guy had 44, and then to top it all off, I don't know if you saw the clip. Like, guy rolled his ankle in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, roll my ankle, limp off the court, rub some dirt on it. Let's put 44 on the board, and then block shot for game.
Yeah, no, he's crazy. Bro. Do you remember? I want to say when. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, yeah, before you change the subject, and that's their first game with no Cat, like for the foreseeable future, like against a good Indiana team. Like everyone was like, Timberwolves are probably cooked now. Like they just lost their second best player, another star on the team, and that's how he responds. Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, some real MJ type stuff.
He's letting everybody know that we're still here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you remember during one of our dog days of NBA basketball episodes, late summer, we talked about who we think the next face of the NBA could be, and I think Ant has to be in that conversation. I don't even think we really talked about him as much as he probably deserved when we had that conversation, but I mean, I think there's an obvious push towards Victor for obvious reasons. But we even talked about like the relatable, like homegrown player. Like, and I think Ant is gonna become that because I mean, Jason Tatum, I felt like was on the path, but I think that's kind of dissipating in terms of his like there was even this little push for him to win MVP this year, and then that already kind of died off after 2 weeks. And so I don't know. I just feel like I think it's between
I
two
would.
people. If we're talking young American, or I guess he's like Shea's not even American, but I think that's the
Yeah.
only other person that could kind of fit that mold that we were talking about
The,
months ago.
the the thing that I think, and I'm sure you're kind of leaning that way, but the thing that I feel like Anthony Edwards has that none of those guys have is like the charisma and like this
He has
the
a
like just
personality. He's a
yeah,
kid.
he's
Like,
like hilarious. Like he is a hilarious person to the interview.
yeah,
Like every interview is like something like quirky or funny or like just like yeah, like that's the thing is like Jason Tatum is obviously probably really thoughtful and really like calculated and like obviously a really good basketball player, but like the camera just lights up when this guy Anthony Edwards is in front of it. It's actually
yeah.
just it's really cool because like you
I
said,
would.
he's like a kid. He's literally just a kid from Georgia that's just like just loving hooping.
Yeah, and I would almost argue this is going to come off bad probably, but he's more exciting to watch. Like you're not getting
Yeah,
the same type of plays. Like don't get me wrong, Jason Tatum is like he's an elite basketball player, one of the best in the NBA, but like you know what you're getting from him. He's going to get to his spots, he's going to shoot his side steps, he's going to bump fade you, you know what I mean? Ant
yeah,
Edwards at any given moment could hit his head on the backboard for a game-winning block. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not normal. Like, you're not going to
yeah,
see that on everybody. So I think that also adds to it.
yeah. No, I agree. I think it's also cool that this is the last thing I'll say about it, is that it's like he really embraces. You can tell that he like, or he's vocal about embracing that pressure or embracing being that guy. Whereas like maybe someone like SGA, like he probably thinks that way, but like he's not as vocal. So it's like you're to your point earlier, Luke. Like being an American, like he is like a brash, like young, like cocky American, I guess. Like not in a
Yeah.
Yeah.
negative way, but just like he
Like
has that
confidence.
again. That yeah, exactly. Like people can really resonate with that. I feel like people are gonna like really like buy into his personality.
Yeah. No, I think that's very true. Yeah, like you said, I think it's
He's been
a
like this
no-brainer
from jump
start.
too.
Yeah,
Like
he has been.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Tom, do you want to go ahead? Mine's a non-basketball one, so if yours is basketball, we can roll with you. And then we can get to me.
yeah, I got a basketball one. I'll uh I'll go ahead and go here. Mine this guy's been playing really good basketball for the last year and a half, even longer, but as of late, it's really shown up like big in big games, just big national TV games. And last night really uh, did it for me. I've got Aaron Gordon. I mean, you talk about he is the absolute perfect fit for what Jokic plays like, and it's just I don't know that trade, like looking back on it, like that trade the Magic gave the Denver, like they gave them the perfect piece. He is so underrated for what they do. Like he mucks everything up defensively. He's so freaking physical. And then just the lob threat. Like last night I saw people talking about like, oh, like Jokic just missed that hook shot so bad and Aaron Gordon bailed him out. I'm like, no, like if you watch the Nuggets play, like Jokic will just throw that ball to the sky and he knows Aaron Gordon's dunking it every time. It reminds me a lot. I'm obviously a Warriors fan, so like this is what I'm gonna compare it to, but like he's really like an Iguodala to what the
Yeah.
Nuggets do. Like he just came in, seamless fit. It's been perfect, and they're not who they are without Aaron Gordon. Like, he is so good.
No, I think that's really good.
Yeah,
I
good
mean, he
pick.
made an all-star push last year, like in just doing the things that you're talking about. Like he didn't
Yeah,
do anything spectacular, but they were obviously they won the championship last year. They were in the top upper echelon of the league, and he was doing that night in, night out. And so, like, it's nice for players like that to get the recognition, although he didn't get selected, but like to even be in that conversation, I think shows. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
a good message to quote unquote role players everywhere. I'd like to say probably.
right. Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
I
the
think
thing
that's what I was gonna say is
with the Nuggets is they just have. Go ahead.
no, no. I was just gonna say the same thing that Luke's saying. It's like, yeah, he like to be that good and be so talented and just be able to accept the role that he's in is awesome.
Yeah, it's the Nuggets just have elite role players at every position, but he stands out the most to me with what he's doing on the court every single night, and he's taken it to another level.
Yeah.
In the last month that I've been watching.
Yeah, that's like a big shout out to Mike Malone too. We've talked about Mike Malone a lot on
Yeah.
this pod, but like to convince Aaron Gordon that like, hey, we're gonna trade for you, you're gonna come here, but this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it has to be. Michael Porter Jr. same thing. Like they could be number one guys on other teams.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
pretty simply.
100%.
Yeah, and like even Jamal Murray like is one of the coldest ISO players and one of the best at creating a shot. And it's like, hey, you're a point guard, you're really, really good, but we're gonna let this other guy kind of run everything and you'll work through and off of him. And that's like to be able to convince guys like that to all do that, like that's obviously on Mike. Mike does a great job.
Yeah. And it works. The
Yeah, it
reigning
works.
NBA champions. I was just thinking too, like as you were saying that, Tom, like you know how reassuring as a facilitator it probably is to have someone like that as a lob threat, where it's like I'm just gonna throw it within 15 feet of the basket and it will get caught. Like that's like Randy Moss.
so
like it's you know what I
crazy.
mean? Like it's like someone he's gonna catch it. It's gotta be crazy. I bet Dwight Howard was like back in his Magic days. It was probably
Bro,
nuts.
and they always look like shots.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if we
Yeah.
want to get into the Jokic discourse too, that's a whole different.
right. That's a whole nother thing, but it's crazy.
That good.
It's crazy.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Did
man.
anybody did anybody peep speak? I know this is like we just probably did anybody peep that he fake tied his shoe in front of the ref so they
Yeah.
couldn't inbound the ball? So
That's
they could
elite
check the
gamesmanship
replay.
right there. That is elite gamesmanship.
Guy gets it, man. It's up there with the.
He just
with the-
gets it.
It's up there with the
I don't-
Jason Kidd spilling his drink for a timeout.
Man, I mean, we can talk about title contenders another episode, but I don't see a team stopping them, dude. They're unbelievable. They're a machine.
And someone was like saying that he's taking stock of what, like he has his own NBA rankings and he gives effort based on his own rankings. So like
That's so
if
crazy.
the team is good, if the team is good, he'll be like, all right, I'm gonna turn it up tonight. Like I mean, dude went crazy last night.
That's so funny, actually.
It's insane. It is insane.
That's like what Joel Embiid does, but he just still shows up every night, so he doesn't get he doesn't play during these games. I mean, I'll be here, but you know,
Like,
just not gonna play. For real. That's
I'm gonna let
funny.
I'll let Jamal cook tonight. Like I'm gonna take the night off. I'll just go get 15 assists.
It's so wild.
Yeah, he'll have games where it's like he'll shoot 7 times, but he'll still
Yeah.
like have a crazy good game.
Yeah, that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
They'll definitely be a force. Yeah. So my scout report, like I said, I have a non-basketball one, and I have a sit. I have a sit that I think there's a very high chance that it comes back to bite me in the ass. This next year, I'm gonna sit Caleb Williams. The
Wow,
potential
starting this train early.
Spicy. That's spicy.
So look, I'm not an NFL analyst in any capacity, but you know I think the NFL draft or the draft combine this year was actually very entertaining. I don't know if it was just because I was paying more attention to it than I usually was, but like someone broke the 40-yard dash record, like things like that. I think the media coverage of it was probably a lot higher. I know there was like people betting on it and stuff, which is crazy to me. But with all that,
I didn't know that. That's wild.
that's wild.
I didn't know that either.
With all that, you have essentially the consensus number one overall pick in Caleb Williams, who again, like I'm not an NFL analyst at all. I'm not going to sit here and pick apart his game, but I know he chose not to participate in any combine drills, which isn't necessarily a super unusual thing. I know Joe Burrow didn't throw. I know there's also been other like consensus number one overall picks that didn't do it, but he didn't participate in any of the medical stuff, any measurements, any of this. I don't think he even completed all his interviews. There's already rumors floating around that he doesn't want to play for the Bears if they take him number one. And it's like, at what point, like, is it not okay, in my opinion? And there was the whole thing that I think we even talked about it on here where he was like, whoever I get drafted to, I want part ownership of the team. That's crazy. Like, this guy hasn't even thrown one pass in the league, and I just think it's, like, it's rather pompous of him to act in this manner. So, like, I really hope he gets in the league and kills it and, like, he backs it up, and obviously he's extremely talented. He's proven that over the last few years. But the way he's handled the last few months, I think is just not good for a rookie quarterback who's already gonna have enough stress and pressure on him being the number 1 overall pick, going to a bad team, having all that pressure to turn them around already. I just think it's a lot of things, and I don't think it's smart. I just don't think the way that him and his camp are handling things is very smart at all.
Yeah.
I,
I
so
think I think yeah. Again, you know way more about football than me, but the one thing I do know that will humble him is playing for a team like the Bears and playing against a defensive line that puts him on his you know what. It's
yeah,
all it's going to take. Is a couple games of, hey, I'm used to getting like a lot of time back here, and like, oh, maybe there's like one really good like pass rusher. No, there's 4 guys that want to take your head off that are going to like, and your offensive line's terrible, and you're going to end up like on the ground. Then you'd be like, wow, this is a lot harder than I expected it to be.
no, yeah, like you're saying,
Yeah.
if it is the Bears, and I'm sure there's Bears fans that listen to us, but like the Bears are very notoriously known for not being a great organization when it comes to the development of their rookies and just
Especially quarterbacks.
success overall. So like y- I don't see the discourse he's trying to push going into the year. Like, I think you have to go in with an optimistic mindset and, whatever happens, happens. And I think that's kind of what happened with Bryce Young this year. I think he handled his situation extremely well. It was a very shitty situation, and he didn't perform to what people probably thought he was going to. And you don't see people really bashing him. You see a lot of people saying, they're going to try to grow around him. This was a year of development, and we understand that the best is yet to come. And it's like, okay, because he handled it in a mature manner. The
E-
fact that he's already coming
Especially,
in like this, it's just odd to me.
yeah. Especially like that's a good point too, Luke, because like especially like in Bryce's situation, like you got CJ Stroud over here just like crushing everything. Like so now
Cooking.
you look even worse, like not
Worse.
by anybody's fault, but it's like, damn, why'd you guys draft this guy? Look at this guy over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like like you guys messed up.
Uh,
Everyone
But
everyone
like
was
he
bashing the Panthers for taking Bryce just based off how CJ was playing. Like
yeah,
Bryce
right.
could
like
have
it's
been
like
good, but CJ
yeah,
was that
like
much better.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't have mattered what Bryce did based on what CJ was doing. So it's like
Exactly.
Caleb's not going to be the only quarterback. Like isn't like the 3 of the top 4 picks are going to be
Oh, this
quarterbacks.
is
So it's like
so that was going to be my next point. This is an
Very good QB
extremely,
class.
extremely good QB class. So I don't think he has, like, I think the leeway that it almost appears that he's carrying himself with, I don't think it's as far off as like or his camp might think. Like,
that's probably why
he
he didn't
might not.
throw.
I mean, but that raises concern for me. Like, if again, I'm not a GM, I'm not an analyst, but like if I'm sitting back thinking between him, May, Daniels, whoever it is, and this guy didn't throw, I'm like, yo, what do you like? What's up? Like, we're trying to decide between you. Like, what's the issue?
I
So I
don't
don't know. What were you
I
gonna
don't
say?
think it's
My bad.
crazy to say that there could I don't think it's crazy to say that there could be another rookie quarterback that has a better year than him next year. Like there's so many good QBs and someone could slip to a team that just needs a quarterback
Yeah.
and just kill it.
That's like the difference in football, man. Like football is so predicated like it like having those other pieces around you.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
Mm-hmm.
just super important. Like yeah, because like and that could ruin. I mean, we've seen it, and again, you guys know more football than me, but like we've seen like quarterbacks that were really good that just like their career never got off the ground because they were just in a terrible organization, or they just the team wasn't good enough, or they just stopped working on the right things. I mean, there's tons of guys like that where it's just like
you
it's
you
just
never
being
what
the
if
number like
anything.
well, like, or even like, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but like, look at Kyler Murray, right? Like, there hasn't really been any positive like football moments or football like very small
Right.
windows where it's like, oh wow, you were the number 1 pick for a reason. It's kind of like You play too many video games. You don't watch film. You know what I mean? Like, your
Yeah.
team's not good. Like,
He's
like,
he's in a terrible situation too. Like nothing.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
some of it has nothing to do with him, but they paid him, so like you're gonna get the play.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, and his talent is undeniable. Like he's shown his
Yeah.
He's
talent.
had
but, like,
great years.
But
Yeah.
who cares? But they're not going to win. They're at the bottom of the NFC West year in year out. It's like, bro, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last part about it, with the rumors about him not wanting to go play for the Bears and stuff, he did shut him down this week in the combine interviews. But I think for there to be substantial rumors such as that, there's got to be some truth
Some
behind it coming from your camp. So whether it was you said it in a closed conversation, or it alluded to in some way by your agent or whatever, there's probably some truth behind that. And again, it's just another thing that isn't a good look in my opinion. So look, if Caleb Williams comes out and has the greatest rookie season of all time, good on him. I'm not a hater of him. I'm not saying he's gonna play poorly this year or have a bad career. I just don't like the way he's handled the last few months. And it's coming off as very arrogant and entitled, which isn't something that sits well with me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Won't be
I
drafting
think,
him to my fantasy team.
I think it's a good one, Luke. I think it's very reasonable, Luke.
I'm also a Justin Fields fan. I've put that out here multiple times, so that might weigh.
Yeah, you
as
have.
well.
You have.
Uh,
Free Jay Fields.
I did. Oh, last little point on this whole topic. Did see a report today from a rather trusted source that Justin Fields will be staying in Chicago. So I don't know if that even means the Bears will be picking number 1 overall or not. Who knows? But hopefully that means they keep rolling with Fields at QB1.
Not to keep rolling on with this, just wouldn't, if they did believe in Justin Fields, right? And like maybe Caleb Williams is the best player, wouldn't you just try to fill the other holes around Justin Fields, right? That would be like the
I'd trade to
logical.
like 3 or 4 and take Marvin.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Marvin
the
Harrison.
easiest.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the easiest fix. If I was a Madden franchise guy, that's exactly what I would do. But unfortunately, that's not the way the NFL works.
Yeah, not at all.
But so that's where my head was at this week. I think it was a rather irrelevant start in comparison to your two, but I wanted to talk about it.
I think it's the combine happened this week. I feel like that's
good conversation.
Yeah, there we go, man. Now, let's get into the starting five. A rather ambiguous starting five this week. We opened this episode talking about the weather. There's definitely a change.
Pompous, ambiguous. Luke's in his bag today, guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Drake. Real good verbiage. That's crazy. So we have our starting five for the season of spring. We've done summer and winter. I think we've even done fall. This might be the last season we haven't done yet. So we said we had to do it. I will go out and say I think this could be very random, but I do think that also potentially sets the table for a really good starting five and conversation. Now I prepared this week. Jared did win our last starting five. Tommy, you came in second. I came in third. And then the walk-on, I did win. Jared, you and Amanda were the only two that voted for you in the walk-on. And then Tommy came in second. So I don't know. Jay, you can.
Why did you have to make the specifics here?
Oh, I don't know. It was just a stat that my producers gave to me. So I had to. I wanted to be real thorough about it.
Yeah, man.
They put that one on the note card.
Yeah, they put
Jared and Amanda.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny on Inside the NBA right now.
My bad. Like I said, bro, the producers just gave me the game notes, and I'm just reading, giving the listeners the facts. But Jared, you did win the more important one. You did win the starting five, so you can go ahead and choose this draft order.
Yeah, my team is very tight knit, so I feel like I need to go first to make sure my team chemistry stays strong. So I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna give Luke second because of that shot, and then Tom, you can get the third at the turn.
Let's do it.
That's fine. I kind of wanted to. That's good.
All right. Nobody wants to.
No, you'll see why though.
Okay. So at my point guard, I needed to get this guy. This guy's the leads the charge on my team. He's he makes a lot of things happen. Makes a lot of things happen. He rallies the troops and he gets everybody excited for spring. Give me March Madness at my point guard. March Madness.
Yep.
Arguably the greatest time of the year.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's funny they talk about it now. Like basketball, the college season has literally boiled down to March. Like, no, because of football and because of everything else and the playoffs, the college football playoffs and everything. Like no one even knows what happened. I don't even remember what happened in December.
Well, I was gonna say, unless you're like a true hoop head, like unless you're either following a team or you just love watching hoops and like follow college basketball, the like mass media and just the naked basketball watcher hasn't like they literally started watching college basketball last week, literally,
Yeah,
and it's
straight
hilarious.
up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So that's my point guard.
no one's gonna argue that pick.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I think it's the greatest time of the year. Those first 2 days are, I mean,
Special.
incredible.
Yeah,
You
there's
cannot
not
beat
really
it.
can't beat it. No.
Okay, so this is why I wanted number two because my point guard was between two people. It was between March Madness, NCAA tournament, and it was between the Masters. And so we're gonna give it to the Masters at point guard. I think it's a very similar reason, like Jared said. There's something about when I'm sitting down watching the Masters that makes me feel like winter is over. The season's changed. It's time to start getting the golf mind back. It's a tradition like no other is the tagline that they like to use. And I think if the Masters wasn't my point guard, our culture in our locker room wouldn't be what we need it to be. So I need give me Augusta National Masters at my point guard.
I like that.
There we go.
It's a great time of the year.
Yeah, perfect. I'm very grateful Jared gave me the turn because can't have a spring list without March Madness on it. So I have to be a repeat. I have to do it. I've got March Madness at my point guard. It simply has to be on the list, guys. There's just no other
So
way.
now I'm gonna
We
look
can't
like
not
an
have
idiot. This sucks.
it on. And
Essentially. You got
This is
other positions,
BS.
you got other
This is
you
and
got other
No,
I'm
I'm not
sorry
gonna
that
do
I
it.
have to do it to you, Luke. But
This is bullshit.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'll save the explanation. Jared gave a perfect one. March Madness is special. That's what we
Terry
need.
over here.
At the two, I've got one that maybe goes unnoticed for a lot of people, but not for me. Not for me, man. The second the weather permits this, which is the spring, I'm partaking. And as you can see, you can't really see too well. I've got a bad glare right there, but my window's open right now. I've got opening windows. I love sleeping with my window open. I just like
What a pick.
there's so much serotonin that flows through my body when I walk into my house and the windows are open and the breeze is running through. Maybe it's April and I've got the Masters on and the
Whoa.
windows open. Like it's a vibe that you can't replicate. I don't know if I've said it before. Spring is my favorite season. So the windows being open it holds a special place in my heart. So I'm in a really good mood today, guys, because my window's open and because it feels great outside. And it's good vibes all around right now, man.
That's a great pick, Tom. I like that.
really like that. I really like that a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Definitely wasn't expecting it. But I can't argue it now.
That's the dark horse of the team.
Yeah, for sure. My shooting guard. Look, so within March, you got your St. Patrick's Day and stuff, and I'm not a big St. Patrick's Day. Like, I don't really get the draw. I get people, go to Irish pubs and whatnot and do the whole nine. That's not really my draw. But you know what comes with St. Patrick's Day during the spring is the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. And the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's
my God,
Good
what
pick.
the
elite. It is arguably the greatest seasonal treat out there. I know the pumpkin spice latte people are gonna fight me on that one, but man, the Shamrock Shake
A good
is
pick,
so
Luke.
special. There's a high
God,
volume
that's
score.
terrible.
That is not terrible.
That's so
No,
bad.
Jared, that's
You should
awesome.
have just
That's a
put the
good
March
pick.
Madness on there.
No. I'm through and through with my list. I'm sticking to my guns, man. Like this is what I
Oh
do.
my God.
I watch the Masters and I drink
Luke,
Shamrock Shakes.
Luke, have you had a Shamrock Shake yet?
No, because the McDonald's next to me, I've literally gone 3 times and they their ice cream machine hasn't been working.
No.
So it's just been poor execution by that McDonald's. But look,
Very cliche.
but the thing is, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying.
Every day until it's ready.
No, it's not an everyday thing. It's like it's like a late week pick me up.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't condone that pick, but it's every person is building their own team. At my shooting guard, this player, he really comes through in the clutch, and that's because he allows me to have more daylight, and nothing's better than
Yep.
leaving the gym and the sun still being out. So give me the time change.
This is a
I
pick.
want
This is
I
a
want spring forward.
pick.
I want
Yep.
the extra hour. I might lose an hour of sleep, but I
Such a
want
good
the
pick,
extra hour
Jared.
of sun. So
Yeah,
give me
had
the time change.
definitely had that one on my list, but it's fine. That's a great.
I
That's
don't
a
even need
great
to hear the
play.
rest of Jared's list to know that that's the best player on his list.
You might win off the strength of
actually,
your like, bro, of the strength of your PG and your shooting guard, because this is
I told
crazy.
you my team chemistry is just high level. Now, Tommy doesn't think my team can get any better, but he brought it up earlier. Let me get that trade deadline, and let me get this extra player to really bolster my roster. So at the small forward, give me the NBA playoffs, April. NBA
Oh my
playoffs.
gosh. I mean, Jared and I actually had the same exact roster. This is crazy.
That's sick. That's sick. I didn't have NBA,
NBA
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah,
NBA
I mean,
playoffs is small forward.
granted that most of our followers are also basketball fans. It's looking pretty grim for the rest of us here. So my small forward, look,
Attaboy,
and
Jared. Attaboy.
I'm very proud of this pick, because it's one of those things that, like, people are gonna forget to put it on their roster. But if you do not address my small forward, it is a problem. It is a problem everywhere, every day. Nobody's scoring on my guy. Perimeter defender, Tony Allen, first team all defense. I got allergies. I have allergies at the small forward. You literally have to address the allergies, or else it's gonna have a career night, day in,
It's
day
the worst, man. Hate it.
out. And again, you're not gonna
That
think about
pollen,
it
man.
when you think, bro. It's a dangerous player. It's a really dangerous player.
Yeah, hate it.
And it always comes out around March, April. Need it. Give me allergies. I think that's a good. That's gonna help me in this one.
Yeah. The
That's
high level
good.
defender.
Good call.
So my three, I mentioned it a little bit. Jared and I definitely were having similar thought processes on the spring. That's why Jared and I get along. It's okay though. I can make some audibles. My three, this guy's he's gonna be Cash from downtown. No pun intended. He's gonna make it rain. I've got the April showers. Give me the April showers. We are all familiar with the April showers bringing the May flowers, but I love the rain, man. I love the rain. There's something about having that window open and hearing the sprinkle of the rain. The sprinkle of the rain.
This guy just setting the stage for his
little 2-man
Sunday
game
afternoon.
on the wing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's nice. That's so funny.
You've got a little candle lit outside. The sprinkles coming down. It's just incredible. Middle of April.
The ambiance you're starting is crazy. This is nuts.
Okay,
Yeah,
where
was this at the speed dating episode?
That's funny. Okay. He was a little starstruck.
Yeah, I mean we weren't in the right month for the speed dating episode. We should have done the speed dating episode in April. That's I guess that's on us for not starting the podcast earlier, since that was the year special.
Yeah.
But
that's so funny.
At the four, I don't know. I would hope this would be on somebody's list other than mine, but I'll be the guy to step up to the plate and do it. This is a great time to spend with family. It's a great holiday, man. Something about that Easter bunny, baby. Give me Easter. Love Easter. It's a fun holiday. We'll be going back to Arizona and hang out with family for Easter this year. So good vibes.
There you go.
Solid. Can't go wrong. That's a real glue guy, day in, day out. So I had daylight savings here at my power forward, Audible here. I'm gonna go with something that me personally, I never really indulge in this, but it has a really big draw. And when I went to school in Arizona, it was one thing that I always wished I went to that I never took advantage of. It seems like a complete vibe, just taking in, the spring weather and a great sport that, maybe within this pod isn't our favorite, but I know it's technically America's pastime. Give me spring training out in Scottsdale,
Nice.
Oh
Arizona.
yeah, that's a nice pick.
Like I said, it was something that I felt like I took for granted when I was in Arizona, and I never took advantage of. Going and watching a couple games, sitting out on the lawn, watching professional baseball. But it definitely looks like a really good time, and a lot of people. I know a lot of people really enjoy it. So I think it's a good sub
Yeah.
there at my 4.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I know a lot of people that still go
Yeah,
that
it
enjoy
looks
it.
it
Yeah, I
looks
think
amazing. Like the
Yeah.
weather's perfect.
it's the
It's
best time
laid
to be in
back
Arizona,
baseball.
right?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly. Yeah.
Tom? Like
Can't go wrong, man.
that's a good pick. I like that pick. At power forward for me, I think everyone that listens to this pod, especially you guys, can definitely resonate with this guy. This is my, let's say Aaron Gordon, right? We've
Okay.
all been through it. We've all experienced it, and it's a good day for everyone in any capacity that they experience it. So give me graduation for the spring, right? College
Nice.
graduation is in
Nice.
May, right? I remember my graduation, loved it, great day. I know you guys probably enjoyed your graduations, whether it's high school. High school's a little bit later, pushing into the summer, but
Push the summer a little
technically
bit.
summer doesn't start till June 22nd. Most of us are out of school before that, so technically it is a
True.
spring activity. So
And
yeah, give me
I was gonna say, let's
go
be
ahead.
honest. Once April hits in your senior year, like it's done. You know what I mean? Like you're
Frozen.
checked
Yeah,
out.
you're out
So
of
like you're
there.
It's
Yeah,
good.
over. Yeah.
yeah. Once you get
That's
past prom, it's like it's over.
yeah, you're straight. You're good. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah,
a really good pick. I
yeah.
didn't even think
So
about that.
yeah, graduation at the power forward.
Not the Kanye album,
Um,
but like the actual like
yeah.
graduating.
I mean, we could if you want to have a discourse about Kanye, we can do that. But
No, it's
we should
fine.
have a
You're not gonna
Kanye
like.
episode.
I don't know about that.
Anyways, yeah, Vultures 2 didn't come out yesterday. I'm not upset or anything, so we'll talk about that later. Um, at my center position, this is again, like Tommy said, the rain does come, but it's more about new beginnings, new weather. It's not freezing outside. Even if it rains a little bit, you're okay to be outside. And this is an activity that really only happens once spring and summer comes. So the outdoor concert
Oh,
Nice.
begins
great
around
pick, Jared.
around
Great
that
pick.
springtime. Going out to
Wow.
Greek Theater in Berkeley, there's a tons of great outdoor venues. Shoreline Amphitheater. Yeah, it's nice to get out there. It's not too cold, but it's not too hot. So it's like
This
light
is
jacket
excellent.
and yeah. So love it. Outdoor concerts at my center.
It's an elite starting 5 out of Jared. Um, Following up is
Jared, a spectacular list.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for the
Following
back
up a
to back.
little.
I'm the
Yeah,
Nuggets.
I was
I'm
gonna.
essentially the Nuggets.
Well, it might not be back to back because the Tyus one will be posted in about
Oh, okay.
48 hours from now. But you got a good thing going for you right now. My center is something that it's rather cliche. Don't get me wrong, it's rather cliche, but it is necessary. It's an everyday guy. It's a role on your team that you need. Again, it's going to match up with my allergies as the top 2 defenders on my team, but this is the rim protector. I got spring cleaning as my center.
Mm, I love that. I love that.
I myself don't have like, a house or anything huge that I need to clean, but for me, it's always the spring cleaning of the closet. And I enjoy that because, I get out with the old, I create space to, maybe branch out and get some new things and, donate, whatever it is. I enjoy that process and it's always a good time. But like Jared said, new beginnings with his graduation one. So I think it's very similar in that sense. But it's something that's very necessary. And I need it in my 5.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I really like that pick. I, I don't wait until the spring. I
I
start
love it. I
purging
love it, Luke.
in the winter.
Makes sense.
I love that pick. Yeah, but I love
Jared,
that pick.
Jared has mentioned on this pod being a purger. That is not a new thing.
Yeah. There's an ice cream cart at my house
At my
right now that's
5.
probably gonna get tossed when I get home.
Sick.
It's only been there since Tuesday, and it's outlived its welcome.
Time to go. It's time to go. At my 5, I am still in college, so this is relevant to a guy like me. Luke has finally surpassed this moment. Jared, it's been a while since Jared experienced this. Give me spring break, man. Give me spring break. There's something just awesome about what spring break brings to the table. You're just close to the end of school. You get a little week off, maybe 2 weeks if you're lucky. I'm not lucky. Get a week off and just take it all in. Maybe you go vacation. Maybe you go somewhere cool, somewhere fun. I don't know. I can't say I have any major plans this year, but it's always a good time. Spring break is always a good time.
That's a good pick, Tom. That's a really good pick.
Streets are saying water still indulges in spring break. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what the same people that told me, the voting stuff, that's what they also have down here too. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe our
I love it.
You never know.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I love it. And then and my walk on, I'll make this card's the walk on because maybe you guys can help me figure out how we can phrase this on a list. But I've just got the color that comes in spring. The leaves are growing back on the trees. The green is popping everywhere. Depending on where you are, maybe you've got some pink flowers coming in. It's just pretty.
Spring bloom. Spring bloom.
Spring bloom.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Give me spring bloom as the walk on.
No, that's really good. I was thinking about that as well. No, that's
like
really good.
Pick. Yeah.
I can see why spring is your favorite season. You've definitely checked your boxes in terms of, the things that bring you happiness and stuff. I respect it, man. I really do.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, man. Shoot. I don't think I've ever been as excited for a walk-on pick as this, honestly.
Oh my God.
Man. So what do we talk about when we talk about walk-ons? We talk about something that that is a star. That is a star that either by its environment, by people around it, by its coach, by whatever it is, gets pushed down and not shown the love that it deserves. And that's exactly what my walk-on is. My walk-on is our very own Jared Waters' birthday. And I think Jared is not a birthday celebrator, and I respect that 100%. Because I'm in the same sense. I don't want a bunch of random people hitting my phone saying happy birthday, but it is still a day that deserves to be recognized. And it's coming up here in about a month, so I think it's perfect to have out there as the walk-on pick this week.
This is crazy how often I get thrown into the actual starting 5 picks.
That's a good one though. The NIL one was a reach for sure, but this one I think you can't tell me that you don't treat your birthday like a walk-on pick.
I will literally be I think I've worked my birthday almost every year. The only reason I didn't work it last year is because it was on a day that I don't have gym time. That was literally the only reason I worked it. Went out there, had a great round.
Yeah, man. Look, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. When we picked the starting 5, that was the only pick I already had done. I was like, yes, this is money.
It's I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Okay, at my walk on. So this is I gotta go and look. Okay. Because I had 100% being transparent. I did have another player in this spot, and I was going to take it in a different direction than Luke took it, but I'm going to pivot here because I think, again, my team is real close knit. It's all about chemistry, and I don't want to bring any negativity into my locker room. So this guy really he seamlessly fits into what we try to do as an organization, and so it goes with my time change pick. Give me morning golf. Morning golf. I love being able to play early in the morning because the sun's up earlier. There's less people out there, and it's not so cold and rainy and freezing to where I can't feel my hands when I swing a golf club. That it's actually enjoyable. So give me morning golf.
Is the sun up actually earlier? I'm asking this as a real question. I'm not being because don't you
Hey.
spring
Yeah.
forward?
No, but like this, so the sun will usually start rising at like I can play at like 6:45 a.m. as it gets closer to summertime.
So the days are. I mean, I sound like an idiot right now, which I knew the days were longer, but it's that much of a difference that it even with the time
Yeah.
change that the sun comes up earlier. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
I
So
knew
it's
like with summer solstice and all that the days do get longer, but I didn't know it was that drastic of a change.
it's not like I mean you could play at 6:45 a.m. right now,
But
but
it's
it would be
break.
like cold. It would be cold. Yeah, it'd be cold.
Right.
So it's like, and it's still like it's still super like there's a lot of water on the course and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no.
Whereas
Morning golf in the winter is awful. It's one of the worst things of
yeah,
all time.
so yeah, but it's just you get better options, you get more options. Like they start opening up tee times more.
Yeah.
Like you won't get like those earlier tee times like in the wintertime, obviously for real reasons, like good reasons. But
Yeah. No, that's a good
yeah,
point, man.
so just
Enjoyable
morning golf. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
like that. I do want to before we wrap up this conversation, I do have one that I didn't know where to really put it in the lineup, but I think it needs to be talked about. Because it's happening to college basketball teams everywhere. The end of your college season and the beginning of the off season, because I think within the first 2 to 3 weeks of your off season is kind of where you need to set the foundation for what's going to be the summer to come. So I think as grim and as sad as the end of the season is always for college basketball teams, and a lot of times it ends in like very heartbreaking manners. Those first 2 to 3 weeks are huge in terms of how you plan the next few months, how you set your mindset to what's going to come, how the things that you set up for yourself, everything that all really really has an impact on honestly the year to come, and then whatever your career is after that. So that was a pick. I had college basketball ending beginning of the off season, but that just felt like way too much of a storyline to actually just have as a pick. But I do think it needed to be talked about. So yeah, I needed to bring it
yeah,
up.
I think that's good.
It's a great honorable mention.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
It's like the coach. It's my coach.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's good. Well, we've been talking about the weather and we've been talking about, spring forward, but it is that time of year for me. I'm gonna spring for that new 60-degree Vokey so I can get my 50 chips a night. And my springtime birdies got me feeling so right.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Short and sweet.
Emphasis on the Vokies. Gotta respect that.
Yeah,
I really like
yeah,
it.
gotta
really
respect it. Yeah, thank you. Elite list, elite poem, elite win.
Hell of an episode today from Waters. Hell of an
That's
episode
fire.
today from Waters,
That
man.
was fire.
Undeniable stuff from the guy. I think it might be that Los Angeles glow. Maybe the mirror in the background brought more to the table than we thought. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
With all that being said, I think this is episode 84, if I'm not mistaken. Episode 84. That's incredible, guys. Proud of us. So thank you for our listeners, as always, guys. We appreciate you. These are your favorite walk-ons, and we're walking out.